Hello guys, welcome back to our channel, The Collector's Hub. Let's continue our story in the Thaumaturge. If you like this kind of game and would like us to continue with it, give this video a like and subscribe to our channel, thank you.
It looks familiar, and yet different. Well, well. Is this a dream? I need to get out of here. Fool. Father.
Blind fool.
Well, what don't I see? Maybe you could give me an answer this time.
What don't you know?
We've been seeing one another more and more since you died.
Ask me about something you don't know.
Why is the golem pursuing our blood? You've not just put me in danger, but Liga as well. Who did you hurt so much that the golem was aiming to? Hold on. It succeeded, didn't it? That's what killed you. That's what made the building fall on you. Why did you let a rat like Konieczkin into our home? Now he's dogging Liga and me. Were you working for him? Did you start informing on your customers for him?
A fool's theory.
Who inflicted this punishment on you? What for? And how the hell do I lift it?
Everything I've done
Was with your children in mind. I've heard it all before. For our good, I know. Thanks a lot. I didn't ask you for anything. Certainly not for someone like Konieczkin to cover for me. I didn't make you get into bed with him. Are you finally going to say something?
You've wasted your time. I left you all the answers. You just have to find them.
Where am I supposed to look for them? In the Black Grimoire, which I nearly got from you? In that case, where is it? Who was it? Your friends? Your coterie that you hid even from your lover? Who are they? What were you planning?
You possess everything I had. I have left you everything you need.
Come back here! I'm not finished with you yet! Teodosia Majewska's bathhouse. Wiktoriusz speaking.
Trotsky, this is Pielewin.
I was waiting for your call, Commissioner. Go on.
They released Kajetan in the morning. I thought you'd want to know. I cleared him of all the charges, but he doesn't really care.
How did the fisherman's, Clara's case end?
They'll hang her. No one will miss her.
I understand.
Look who's up. Sleeping Beauty. Have some coffee. In the morning, Grażynka brews it strong. All the revelations yesterday overwhelmed me a little. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my outburst.
I see a familiar look on your face. It's the one Father often gave me when he expected me to behave a particular way.
Did it work?
Forgive me for yesterday. Warsaw was getting to me.
Yes, I know the feeling. And I don't want to quarrel with you either. We'd be better off focusing on the obstacles ahead of us. I thought that, given our situation, your suggestion to talk to Konieczkin wasn't so bad after all.
I suspect he'll offer us a deal with the devil.
For now, I'm just thinking out loud. What's next?
I had a dream about Father.
Me too. Right after he died. He was soothing me with my favorite lullaby.
First he insulted me, and then blood poured down his face.
Very funny. Do you see him often in your dreams?
This was only the second time. I hope there will be more. It's been a long time since I was quarantined in the hospital. They're not ordinary dreams. They're very realistic visions. I talk to him, I ask questions, but I can't understand his answers.
Why don't we focus on real life?
Has anything been reported about Port Praga?
I've been keeping an eye out, but nothing yet. But Svetlana's disappearance won't go unnoticed for long. Hyenas like fresh corpses.
I know that you're still sorting through things there, but I really have to visit our store in Mirów.
I'm basically done, and I was planning to go there now after breakfast. Will you join me?
I should look through all of Father's things in the store. Everything he left behind.
All right. Let's go.
Not much has changed here.
Just the sign. Or maybe the owner.
That's right. Now it's your kingdom.
I don't think queens dig through columns of numbers, exotic names, addresses, and consignment notes. or scald customers who don't know the difference between powdered skull and powdered mummy. Have you developed an interest in the family business?
Actually, what is the difference between mummy powder and skull powder?
Skull powder is powder from a skull. You use it to make an extract for apoplexy and bleeding. Thomas Willis, a pioneer of brain research, had a habit of adding it to his hot chocolate. Powdered mummy is an oil. Egyptian mummies are covered in a dark substance that's a mixture of embalming fluids and organic fluids from the body of the deceased. This hardened human resin has to be scraped off the mummy and made into an oil. It helps with wounds, rashes, sore throats, and dizziness.
It sounds like that substance is bitumen. And there are easy ways of getting it than scraping mummies.
That might be. But our customers prefer scraped mummies. Unless you're considering diversifying our selection.
This conversation has convinced me even more that Father left the business in the right hands.
Come into my chamber. I have to take care of the inventory. Try not to make more of a mess than there already is.
What is this?
The photograph, Victor. A marvelous invention. Father was very fond of them.
I meant what Father has on his face. That smile. I'm sure someone he disliked had just died.
Did you want something, or are you here to joke around?
When was this picture taken?
Who knows, a quarter century ago? We must not have even been 5. You two look more and more alike.
Don't scare me. The guy next to Father, that's Hayat, right?
Yes, he's just younger, Victor. That's how photographs work, you know. They stop time and place. I can also see here that they were friends. But a year ago, that ended and they stopped working together.
Yes, you mentioned it recently.
It's a shame Papa never said why.
Could Hayat have wanted our father to die? Could he have sent the golem after him?
I think you'll have to ask him. I heard that he bought out one of the 2 rundown laundries here in Mirov, not too far away. You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm taking another look around.
Is that?
Yes. I'll take a quick look around.
Be careful. On my way. What do you need?
The store looks better than I remembered. More human.
I've sorted through the remaining junk and I'm keeping the monkey brains, prepared corpses, and potency ointments just in the catalog now, so mothers can come here with their kids.
Do you want to be better than father?
People look at a businesswoman strangely, so I intend to prove to them that I'm better than businessmen. I'm doing my best.
Has anything strange happened lately? Anything that might have something to do with the golem?
A cup fell from the table and someone stumbled while crossing the doorstep, but I assume those aren't things that can be attributed to a golem.
Most likely common clumsiness. That's good news.
And some plaster fell from the ceiling, but that's probably because something was passing by. Nothing serious. Anything else?
I have to poke around here a little more yet. I'm not completely sure what to look for.
If you need anything, just ask.
Can you feel it? He moves with the bustle of the market and the rustle of sand grains around the stalls. It feels like the sun is standing at its zenith and burning mercilessly. It's a visitor from a harsh desert land. A djinn. Hello.
Would you like to buy some flowers? They'll steal your heart.
Have you perhaps noticed any unprecedented phenomena happening here?
Here? Mister, there's 1,001 of those happening every day. How about a flower?
Maybe some other time.
As you wish, sir.
Good day.
And it can be even better. I'll quickly find whatever it is you need, sir.
Well, I have heard that he has a reputation.
What are your wishes?
You grant wishes like Jinn?
Jinn? Mister, I grant any number of wishes, not some measly 3 or so. I've got jinns eating out of my hand.
And you can grant any wish?
Yeah, I heard he brought a real Persian cat for Maltsova. Now that's something.
You know it. I have yet to have a customer come back dissatisfied.
I should just tell you what I wish for?
Don't be bashful. We're all friends here.
Just name it, and I'll handle the rest.
I want to be an unequaled master of thaumaturgy.
Mister, that's a wish you can grant on your own. 10,000 hours of solid practice, and you can be a master of anything you want. Next time, make your wishes a little more material for me.
I was just browsing.
Do come back now. Wishes won't grant themselves. Did you think of any new wishes?
But I know that you failed to fulfill one task, one wish, for a very important client.
Well, that's interesting.
Oh, that was a simple misunderstanding. Nothing to talk about, right?
Will it dawn on you when I mention cigars? Rolled on the thighs of Cuban girls?
No, it will not dawn on me.
Despite their uniqueness, these small pieces of handicraft from an exotic land have failed to impress.
That's enough.
So you brought others even more magnificent, resting in elegant cedar boxes, but they too were rejected.
Well, I'll be. Picky, aren't we?
The manager of this establishment, the shitty vizier, who else? What does he want? His caprices cost me a fortune, and still, there's no pleasing him. I'm finished. Are you pleased with yourself?
You've disappointed me as well. I wish you carried a certain flaw, but alas.
Go to hell, all of you! Get lost!
Look what you did. When Maltsova hears about this.
Let's forget I said anything.
And here I thought something sensational would be said here.
Fate has brought us together again, Victor Shulsky.
Why do you bother, King of the Tempermancers?
I learned from my mistakes, and now the time has come for me to reclaim the throne and the title that I deserve. Come on, I dare you.
Do you pester other thaumaturges too?
Of course not. The others are insignificant compared to you. I dare you.
All right.
To me, visitors. To me. Never. There is no shame in losing to a better man. The way tells me to find you again soon.
I will be ready, White Roman.
You will not know the day nor time. That is the creed of temperamancers.
Yes, yes, just not here. My sister will kill me.
Stay well, until fate makes our paths cross again, King of the Temperamancers.
Good day, Mrs. Yagoda.
Have you worked up an appetite for a cookie?
I was just passing by and thought I'd pop in.
You could also buy something sometime instead of just looking.
to find their meeting place.
That's him, the one with the book. You oozing carbuncle. You ain't had enough of Warsaw yet? So you're sticking your nose in on people here?
You know what happens to fellas who sniff around where they ain't supposed to?
Mirov don't kid around with them.
I just wanted to stop by the laundry.
He must have shit his pants. You'll have to find yourself another laundry.
You're talking nonsense!
By Abraham's beard, that's the way it was. Did you hear about Praga? I'm at the harbor getting fish, and half the wharf is in splinters. They said there's even bodies.
More bodies than they usually fish out of the Vistula, practically every day. They were only just writing about Povishle.
But listen to this. They're saying it's some giant did it all.
You sure?
Maybe I can help. Recently, I've taken an interest in one of those.
Leave us alone. Did you wander in here by mistake?
I hope those guys outside are your relatives. Otherwise, you're paying too much for your protection. Are you scared of something?
I'm not easily frightened. I have the time spent working with your father to thank for that. You got some dirty laundry that needs cleaning, Mr. Shulsky.
I was interested in this giant you mentioned to the fishmonger.
I can't help you. Rabbis are the ones who deal with golems.
I didn't say anything about a golem.
I'm afraid I can't help you. And now, if you like...
You were curious how my father died. Beneath the ruins of a building in Śródmieście.
That's awful. How did it happen?
I'm glad you're asking. A remarkable death, isn't it?
Yes.
Let's have a word about your conflict with my father.
There was no such thing. I have warm feelings for the store, and his father as well.
Why did you quit working for my father?
It was a mutual decision.
I know that you and my father parted ways in bad terms. What happened?
We both had difficult personalities, but I still remember him fondly.
You're not telling me everything.
I don't have to explain myself to you, Mr. Shulsky.
I'm leaving now, but I can tell this won't be the last time we meet.
Farewell.
Hello.
You said a month, 2 at most. I believed you. Then came the very first rain, and it was pouring in again. You fixed it, then the next rain. Soaked. I can't sleep because I have to keep emptying buckets. It's leaking just as badly as it was before. But the eyes of God are in every place, and they're watching.
Rabbi, when I said 2 months, you said there was one hole in the ceiling, but the whole building is in shambles here.
I can do it.
Quiet. You can seal up your daddy's barn with straw. The roof is gonna get holes because the foundations are crumbling.
So, let's go down to the basement.
Oh no, definitely not there.
What's in the basement that's so frightening?
Hashem, something down there reeks so awful that...
Come now, don't be silly. Why do you afflict me so? I know why, because you know I shall bear it. Well, sir, are you just here to listen, or have you got something to say?
Am I speaking to Rabbi Sofer?
You see, all I gotta do is mention these cellars and his name comes up.
Would Hashem let a synagogue be haunted?
Hey now, quiet.
You're too late, I'm afraid. My name is Feldman. Rabbi Sofer departed this world almost a year ago. Forgive me, I have worldly matters to attend to.
I understand, Rabbi. And if someone were to help you with these workers?
In the words of the market woman trying to tempt a Jewish man into idolatry, what harm would it do?
I understand. Back up. God helps those who help themselves.
But maybe you're right, Rabbi. Maybe Hashem is afflicting us, setting a test for us.
You heard the guy talking about Sofer. The old man cursed this place, especially these cellars.
So I'll go on my own, and show that Hashem protects me against curses in Hashem's domain.
On your own. You can seal up your daddy's barn, right? Fine, let's go.
You've gotten the better of me again, Hashem. Your tests still surprise me, but if this is your will, I think Hashem has sent you to me. Who are you?
I'm the son of Stanisław Szulski, and I really need help.
Let's go into my office. Let's show Hashem we accept the challenge. Please, tell me what problem brought you here.
Maybe, Rabbi, you could tell me something about golems.
Thaumaturge, golems belong to Kabbalah, and you're forbidden from knowing anything about them. It's a trap for a soul. There are tales of golems being summoned for revenge, or in good faith, for protection. But they all end rather badly.
Rabbi Sofer put a curse on my father. Unfortunately, it started affecting his children as well.
A curse is a serious accusation, you know. I find it hard to believe Sofer would do such a thing. Do you think this has something to do with the golem?
I don't know. Did the old rabbi perhaps leave some things here? May I take a look at them?
Yes, here you are. All his books are here. I don't think I threw anything out. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Rabbi, could you tell me something about Sofer?
He was fair, but also difficult and very principled, like this city. Riots, provocations, pogroms, overpopulation. But if he's the one who inflicted the curse, he must have been a powerful thaumaturge and Kabbalist.
Who can summon a golem?
Normally, it's determined by need. The Kabbalist rabbi summons the golem himself, but other Jewish people can also entreat him to do so. In legends, the golem is a terrible punishment and a tool for meting out divine justice. But I think it's an offense against Hashem, and revenge is no justice.
How can I stop a golem?
To summon it to life, you write the 3 Hebrew letters spelling emes, truth, on the clay that formed it. In an attempt to stop the monster, the heroes of these legends would erase the first letter from its clay body. That leaves mes, which means death. But I don't know how much truth is in that.
Rabbi, could you help me understand something about Kabbalah?
No, and I'll say no more on the subject. I fear for your soul.
I'm afraid that I won't find anything more here. Thank you, Rabbi. Rabbi?
I'm listening.
I found a prescription belonging to the old rabbi. Was something troubling him?
He had heart problems. The local pharmacist would even bring him some kind of special medicine.
What was that pharmacist called?
Abraham Horovitz. But now his pharmacy is sitting empty.
Let me guess. He's dead?
Unfortunately. Some say that the socialists were involved. Others claim it was the Ochrana's doing. Let's keep talking, if you need to.
Mordechai Chayat. Do you know that name, Rabbi?
He owns one of the laundries here in Miruf, but I admit he doesn't really come to see me. Maybe there are other things I could be of more help with.
I'll be off now.
I'll pray for you.
What do you want to tell me, friend?
And the teacher said, Victor, is the rat here in the classroom with us right now? I almost pissed myself.
Laugh all you want, but I really can't see it. I can't help it.
Victor, promise me that the whispers of these salutors of yours won't turn you into a cynic like your father.
I promise, Mother. I'd rather not change at all, much less into Father. You'll see! My Uber will order you to eat your own brain! I'm telling Mom, all you thaumaturges are crazy.
I've been carrying it with me for half a lifetime. I remember there was someone else here. He wasn't happy. He thought I wasn't ready yet. Miss, maybe he was right. Secrets? Not on my watch.
My, I can see you need a haircut, sir.
Is it that obvious? Please, do your thing.
No worries. We'll fix it in no time. So, how...
Perfect.
Is there something else you need?
Let's talk about your relationship with my father. A tense relationship.
Mr. Szulski, I'll say it one more time. Stanisław and I didn't quarrel.
Liar. Your anger still lingers around the photograph of my father. You're going to find it hard to hide anything from me.
I'm not in the habit of speaking ill of the dead, Mr. Szulski. Especially to their family. Old grudges drove us apart. Not all stains are easy to remove. Especially ones on a person's honor.
And might they give you a reason to seek revenge? A motive?
I can't summon golems, if that's what you're getting at.
But you know there is such a possibility.
Is that all? I need to get back to work.
I know about the pharmacist.
Beg your pardon?
All this is because Abraham Horowitz, isn't it? He lost his life, and the whole community felt it. Seems like you did most of all. I just don't get why Horowitz was so important to you.
Community. Something you Szulskis don't know a thing about. Here, we take care of everyone equally. No one is more or less important than anyone else. Your father's punishment was fitting for his actions and his background. The wrath of the Jewish people. A death for a death.
Was it worth it? A golem is a blunt instrument that kills and harms everyone in reach.
What are you talking about?
You wanted to teach my father a lesson, and you did. It's too bad innocent people died in the process. The building that collapsed on Stanisław, it was inhabited by people. Now all that's left of them are some damaged items. That's what happens every time the golem physically manifests. Random people lose their lives due to its untamed power.
No, it can't be. It wasn't supposed to be that way.
I don't think the punishment is adequate for the crime. Horowitz had something on his conscience. He must have, if both the Ochrana and the Socialists were interested in him. And what my father did, I can't believe I'm saying this, but his motives seem noble.
Oh, do they?
There's no trace of cruelty in his actions. He didn't do it for his own profit, but for some kind of greater good.
Without any specifics, those are just words.
My father and Sofer knew one another for years. Father knew the rabbi could be forced to create a golem if Horowitz was killed. They both took that risk. Sofer couldn't reveal that he knew Stanisław. He also knew that Horowitz had to disappear because he was a threat to too many people.
To whom?
That doesn't matter. You don't have anything to do with this, Mordechai. Just like I have nothing to do with my father's actions. I am connected to them only by my blood.
What do you want?
To get rid of the golem. Tell me something, anything, that will get me closer to a solution.
Instead of telling you, I'll show you.
Where? Into an alley, where some friend of yours will smack me around?
To the synagogue. Are you coming?
I'll join you. I hope it's worth my while.
I'll call Feldman and wait in the basement. He should see this too.
What do you need?
Has anything strange happened lately? Anything that might have something to do with the golem?
A cup fell from the table, and someone stumbled while crossing the doorstep, but I assume those aren't things that can be attributed to a golem.
Most likely common clumsiness. That's good news.
And some plaster fell from the ceiling, but that's probably because something was passing by. Nothing serious. Anything else?
The store looks better than I remembered. More human.
I've sorted through the remaining junk, and I'm keeping the monkey brains, prepared corpses, and potency ointments just in the catalog now, so mothers can come here with their kids.
Do you want to be better than father?
People look at a businesswoman strangely, so I intend to prove to them that I'm better than businessmen. I'm doing my best.
I have to poke around here a little more yet. I'm not completely sure what to look for.
If you need anything, just ask.
So,
no wonder the roof is leaking if the foundation is crumbling. A lovely metaphor, Hashem. But what happened here had nothing to do with Hashem. Did it?
Mr. Shulsky wished to know the origin of his curse. This is where it took its shape. If I'd... Now I see it differently, but back then, when I was talking to Sofer, revenge and justice seemed one and the same.
Revenge is no justice. It is always dictated by anger, and in anger, erring comes easily. But Sofer agreed to it.
He summoned the golem. What else do you want to know?
what do you remember from the moment you summoned the golem?
Nothing. I don't want to go back to that.
Your memory takes shape and forms into words. Talk to me, Mordechai.
I feel cold. Cold from the clay seeps into my fingers, into my bones. But the colossus I've been sculpting for hours is nearly ready. Sofer whispers the spell in Hebrew, but his words throb in my temples and soul. The colossus comes to life and looks at me.
What did Sofer say then?
I don't know.
Speak!
I couldn't hear, I swear. I couldn't hear. Truly. Enough, I beg you. Enough. Your family and your blood deserved this curse. Enough.
Hayat. How could Sofer have done something like this? And you, sir, how are you not ashamed?
Maybe I've treated Hayat unfairly.
You made him relive all that. That's torture.
I wanted to know. Anything might help us get rid of the golem.
Even so.
This place won't tell me anymore.
And what have you learned?
The hole you can't miss over there is the new door the golem smashed when it was summoned to life.
And no one saw anything. How is that possible?
The clay formed a shell that Sofer infused with the salutor. Hayat brought it and spent hours shaping the body of the golem.
Hours? That must have been horribly exhausting.
What's a few hours in exchange for a curse that lasts generations? These are the remains of some fabric that Sofer wrote something on, in Hebrew, I think. This might be some prayer, incantation, even a spell. There's not enough left to read anything. That's all, but I'm not any closer to a solution. I need someone like Sofer.
A thaumaturge and a Kabbalist?
Do you know one, Rabbi?
Well, there is someone. Normally, I'd advise against contacting him, but after considering these extraordinary circumstances, and with trust in your choice of a path to lead me down, I'm compelled to reveal that it's Ariel Rofe.
Of course.
Do you know one another?
Well, I know him well enough to suspect that he might not want to help me, but I'll look for him.
Mercy rebuilds bridges.
I think I know where Rofe would tell me to shove that.
All right, I think it's time for us to go. This place just makes the blood boil. Shall we?
I want to look around a little more. I'll find my own way out.
Please, look after yourself.
As you wish.
Unlike your father, you understand the word no.
I have to know what you remember.
I've already said I don't want to, and I won't go back to that.
As you wish.
Unlike your father, you understand the word no.
This place won't tell me any more.
And what have you learned?
The hole you can't miss over there is the new door the golem smashed when it was summoned to life.
And no one saw anything. How is that possible?
Is that your worry, Rabbi?
The clay formed a shell that Sofer infused with the salutor.
Sofer told me to bring clay. Sticky and cold. I can't say how many of those buckets there were. Hours sculpting the Colossus until my hands went numb. I could feel the clay absorbing my anger, as if my rage was making it take shape on its own.
Hours? That must have been horribly exhausting.
What's a few hours in exchange for a curse that lasts generations? These are the remains of some fabric that Sofer wrote something on, in Hebrew, I think. This might be some prayer, incantation, even a spell. There's not enough left to read anything. That's all, but I'm not any closer to a solution. I need someone like Sofer.
A thaumaturge and a Kabbalist?
Do you know one, Rabbi?
There's only one name that comes to mind, but...
Ariel Roffe. A good-for-nothing, vengeful, godless scoundrel.
Strong words from your lips.
Of course.
Do you know one another?
Well, I know him well enough to suspect that he might not want to help me. But I'll look for him.
Clearly, the Shulsky family has an easy time getting into conflict with Jews.
Come now, don't be silly.
There is just one thing I'd really like to know, Mr. Shulsky. Standing where you are now, what do you think about your father's responsibility in all this?
For years I had no place in my father's life. Though I admit in any event that the feeling was mutual. But I don't want to judge him.
Debts must always be repaid.
I'm settling my scores.
All right, I think it's time for us to go. This place just makes the blood boil. Let's get Mr. Shulsky away from here. And stop by tomorrow. We'll have some tea and work through a few questions.
Mr. Shulsky, I would like this to be our farewell. I tell you from my heart, anger and pride are poor advisors. I know that firsthand, but it's too late for me. You can still save yourself. I'll be thinking of you.
Shall we?
I want to look around a little more. I'll find my own way out.
Please, look after yourself.
As I see it, the punishment you inflicted on my father is out of proportion to his guilt.
Meaning?
Neither my sister nor I had anything to do with our father's decisions. Justice would be if everyone paid the price for their own actions.
How much anger must a person hold inside to do something like this? Revenge isn't justice. Who are you or Sofer to decide who deserves what punishment?
Thing I'd really like to know, Mr. Shulsky. Standing where you are now, what do you think about your father's responsibility in all this?
My father deserved everything he got. He made a mistake, and mistakes come with a cost.
What was this mistake?
He passed on this curse to my sister and me. This great Thaumaturge couldn't free himself from a curse, or didn't want to.
Mr. Shulsky, I knew Stanisław, and I know that he never wished you or your sister harm. It was my mistake. My fault.
Careful, you starting to defend the man you wanted to kill.
And I'm sure I will suffer my own punishment for that.
My father deserved everything he got. He made a mistake, and mistakes come with a cost.
What was this mistake?
He let himself get caught.
Are you joking?
As I see it, the punishment you inflicted on my father is out of proportion to his guilt.
Meaning?
My father chose what he thought was right, a necessary evil. He wanted to save his life, his family, and maybe he believed those of many other beings as well. I'm sure I'd have done that too.
I shouldn't have asked.